Hey everyone, it's Dominic from the San Antonio Winery. Welcome back to our second edition of the online wine and cheese pairing. Today is the 30th of April, and I want to welcome you all. Hey, before we start, I hope you're all being safe. I hope you got your wine packet in the mail, and you went out and bought the accompanying cheese and fixings that go along with it, and you're going to follow along. So welcome back. I'm delighted to have you here. So before we get into it, I want to acknowledge a couple of people who are joining us today. Billy and Monique Munoz, who are celebrating their 26th wedding anniversary. So thanks for being online. Thanks for celebrating with us. Hope you have a lot of fun. And then Debbie Miller, she and her husband, they're also doing their anniversary. I don't know what year, but happy anniversary to the Millers as well. So let's start off with our first dish. Now, if you have the menu in front of you, you will notice that I've kind of themed this with not necessarily just movies, but scenes from movies. This dish is called the Sands of Tatooine. And if you're a Star Wars fan like I am, Tatooine is one of those planets that's in the galaxy that Luke and Darth and C-3PO and R2-D2 kind of all go around to, and a lot of action. So we call it the Sands of Tatooine because if you remember the shot during that movie, during the Star Wars movie, Tatooine is a very desert-looking planet with two moons. So this is what we have. So what we're pairing that with today is our Stella Rosa Prosecco. Now, what is the difference between Prosecco and Champagne? Well, Prosecco is Italian champagne. Champagne is a sparkling wine. However, if it's bottled in Champagne, France, it is called Champagne. Outside of Champagne, France, wait for it, outside of Champagne, France, it's called a cuvée. If it's in Spain, it's called cava, and of course, Prosecco in Italy. So this is a really great pairing. What I really like about this pairing is the curd, the lemon curd that goes over the top of the cheese, and it's on basically a honey graham cracker. It's an extra sharp cheddar, and extra sharp cheddars are either yellow or white, and they get their class of sharp or extra sharp by the aging process. When the cheese actually ages, it begins to harden, it begins to dry up a little bit, so it becomes a little harder and it has a very distinct flavor and taste. What I love about the cheese is that there's this bacteria in there that helps give it this flavor. So this is a great pairing. So we're going to put a little Prosecco in the glass. Raise a toast to you. I'm hoping all you and your family are doing well. Let's get into our first pairing, Stella Rosa Prosecco and our Tatooine. Now that is really fun. I think I'm going to need a nap. So, what's really cool about that dish is that if you've never used lemon curd comes in these little jars, and it's very bright. It's a very bright lemon taste, and it's kind of a cream. So when you drizzle that over the top, very thick and rich, and it blasts lemon. So this is actually a tremendous pairing to do, and it's simple and easy. The cheddar comes in squares. You can buy it by a block and just slice it, or do as I did, buy the pack that's already sliced and then you quarter it. So, the Sands of Tatooine, I think, is a big hit. Now, second up, oh, by the way, if you got the list of music, the Sands of Tatooine is the theme of Star Wars. So if you had time and you put a little soundtrack together, it's kind of fun to pair them together with the music and the food. That is the Santa Tatooine. Next one is, now that's a Newport tan. Now, we've been in the high 90s, even the hundreds here in Southern California the past few days. So the sun is out, summer's coming, and this is a really great dish to pair up. Easy to make. Basically, it's pesto Gouda, that's the Gouda cheese, with sun-dried tomatoes on a cracker, and it's a pita cracker. So the pita crackers actually come in these little triangles, and easy to plate. Put your cracker down, have your pesto cheese, your Gouda cheese, put that on, put a little bit of the tapenade on there, and then we threw on a little spraggler leaf, and that's going to make it interesting. We're pairing that today with our Sauvignon Blanc. Sauv Blanc, this is actually my favorite of our white wines. Sauv Blanc is very bright, and when I mean bright, I'll show you why it is bright. What I love about this wine is the immediate flavor and acid that you get with the wine. Sauvignon Blanc gives off high notes of fruit, lemongrass, and melon. So you get a very citrusy taste to it. When you smell it, you get that rich acid that goes through your nose. You can really taste it on your tongue. And when I say bright, when you first take a sip, your eyes kind of open, wide open, kind of like the sun coming up in the morning. So that's what a bright wine is. So we're going to pair this with the Newport Tan, and the song that goes along with this one is California Girls. I think that Katy Perry spelled it G-U-R-L-S, California Girls, and it was Katy Perry. So it was kind of fun today. I was doing just some notes, and I threw that video on. It's a pretty racy video. It was a lot of fun. Our tapenade on top, sun-dried tapenade, really, really good. Then you wash it back with that Sauv Blanc. It's perfect. A perfect pairing. So, what is pesto Gouda? Pesto Gouda comes really from the Netherlands, and it was actually made originally. Let's see, what was the thing? It was emu milk, and the pesto is garlic and basil. So that's what gives you the unique flavors along with garlic. So, but it's a great pairing. So, do that. Easy to make at home. Okay. Our next pairing. Now this is really fun, and as we get into the summer months, actually as you move through summer and into fall, it's a great time to pair your cheese and wine with a lot of fruits and actually vegetables. Today, I wanted to get this off to you. I call this the Pearl Blossom Highway. And if you are was it Charlie Daniels or Marshall Tucker, I think it was, they did the song "The Devil Went Down to Georgia." It was actually the Charlie Daniels band. But easy to slice. What you do is you can get a whole pear, or you can get canned pears. And the canned pears are actually easy because they're boiled or blanched and easy to cut. So when you serve these, simply take a knife, split it into a quarter, and you have this great Roquefort cheese. Now, Roquefort cheese is, of course, blue cheese, okay? But Roquefort has kind of like the capping on it, because that's Roquefort is where blue cheese actually originated in Roquefort, France. So this is a great cheese. Roquefort is typically a little more expensive than a regular blue cheese, but it's really a pungent, robust type of cheese to pair with fruit and crackers. So what we're going to pair that with today is our Windstream Chardonnay. And I selected the Chardonnay for a couple of reasons. One, we have a honey drizzle on the pear. And the honey actually pairs really good with this Chardonnay. The Windstream Chardonnay is actually barrel aged and barrel fermented in French oak. So it has this natural creaminess to it. And the natural creaminess and the honey on this really marry together well. So here we go. Join me in this. Got a little walnut on there as well. And you get the tanginess of the blue cheese, that real pungent tang, and then you get this soft layer of pear. And then we pair it up with our barrel-aged Windstream Chardonnay. That was really nice. I don't know about you, but I'm happy. All right, so that is the Pear Blossom Highway. Now we're going to run into the next wave, and we're moving over to red wine. Okay, the first three were all done and paired with white wine. This is going to be paired with the reds. We're going to start with our Windstream Pinot Noir. Now, Pinot Noirs are very thin-skinned grapes, so very light levels of tannin. Tannin comes from the skin of the grape, so when you're actually making wine, after you press the grapes, you're going to soak the skins with the juice, and the skin is going to release what's called tannin. And thicker skinned grapes produce higher levels of tannin, so heavier colors of red. Thin skinned grapes produce low levels of tannin, and that would be the Pinot Noir. Pinot Noir, very thin skinned grapes. They're actually kind of temperamental. There's kind of a joke when you walk through the vineyards of the Pinot Noir grapes. You have to walk very quietly so you don't freak them out. So that's a joke. So, anyway, so take a look at this Pinot, and as I aerate, you can probably see how light the Pinot is in terms of color. I think the best way to show you that is against a white background. So Pinot Noir is thin skinned, so you have light levels of tannin, which means light color. All right? So that's going to be a nice wine. When you open a fresh bottle of red wine, it's always best to air it out a little bit. You want the wine to kind of breathe. If you've ever seen the movie Aladdin, that Robin Williams was in, or that his voice was in, when Aladdin rubbed the lamp and the genie popped out, the first thing he did was he took a deep breath and he said, "Boy, oh boy, it's good to be out of that lamp." Well, that's the way wine is. Once the bottle is opened, the wine really wants to breathe. So let it breathe a little bit, aerate it out, and it's going to be ready. So what we're pairing that with, we call this the Count of Monte Cristo. And this is really fun to do. You can pre-bake or pre-make this, and then you can reheat it before you serve it. Or if you're doing like a party, like a Christmas party or New Year's party, and you have one of them hot plates, those long hot plates, you can put these out and just sit them on there on low, and they'll stay warm. But what this is cream cheese. And cream cheese is a very soft, creamy cheese made from milk and cream. Typically goes on bagels. Really good with one of my favorite dishes is toasted bagel, cream cheese, and then fresh salmon or lox, a little bit of onion, and a mimosa. So that goes really good in the morning. But anyway, so this is going to be the sliced turkey, cranberry, cream cheese, and it's on French toast. You can buy that in any grocery store. Some places call it a Texas-style toast, where they're just big, thick pieces. So that's what they look like, and they're pretty meaty. You can actually go a little smaller on these. Where'd my knife go? What happened to it? There we go. Thank you. You can go a little smaller on these, since they are kind of hors d'oeuvres. meal out of it if you want to, but there we go. And then, of course, French toast is dipped in egg, and you can add a little milk to the egg or to the mix and kind of lighten it up a bit. But this is good served hot or cold. That's really good. Paired with that Pinot Noir, that is really perfect. Now, moving forward, as we get into the holiday season, Pinot Noir is great for any Christmas table, Thanksgiving table. If you're serving ham, serving turkey, this pairs really, really well. Actually, it's really good with tamales too. I love a good spicy red tamale with Pinot Noir. It walks the walk and talks the talk. So, there we are again, the Count of Monte Cristo. And before I set that aside, that was really good. See, when you're working alone and you have to talk a lot and you're eating, there's certainly some downtime. We'll look for a second down there. Alright. So you having fun so far? I hope so. Anybody pop any questions up or anything yet?
Not yet, but a lot of love for you.
Alright. Guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and feed them through. I'll be happy to answer them as we move through these. We'll try to keep everything to 30 minutes here, so you're not spending your entire day with us. But if you want to, we're still open for wine sales. Our restaurant is open for takeout food. And so if you want to come on down and say a quick hello and get lunch or dinner, please stop by and make sure you come say hi to me in the tasting room. All right, so our next wine, I believe, yeah, that looks like a Zinfandel to me. That's a Petit Verdot. I can mix that. Right. Yeah. That's okay. We can set that aside. So we're gonna do the peanut butter, or it's called School's Out for Summer. Now, when I was a kid, one of the big lunch things that we had typically weekly, not every day, but weekly, were peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And my mom was a big Jif fan. She loved Jif. And I think it's because it came in the big tubs, There were 5 children in our family, so we went through a lot of peanut butter and jelly. The other cool thing was that we would do is have cucumber and cream cheese sandwiches. Every yard in our neighborhood, we had these big lots, so every yard had their own garden. So we would grow cucumbers, cabbage, tomatoes, onions, beets, all sorts of fun foods. So peanut butter was a big thing in my family growing up. So let me tell you a little bit about the Zinfandel. Zinfandel has natural properties of spice and pepper. And one of the reasons I pair this with the cheese and the peanut butter is that the peanut butter gives this creamy texture to the sandwich. And the, the cheddar on this is a Wisconsin cheddar. So the first cheddar that we did in the first pairing was a hard, sharp Canadian cheddar. This is a Wisconsin cheddar, not aged quite as long, but perfect. It comes in slices, so it's easy to put on hamburgers, easy to put on, add it to macaroni and cheese, or anything that you like cheese on. It's also good to put over Brussels sprouts. So if you do Brussels sprouts and bake them, just before you pull them out of the oven, lay a couple of sheets of this cheddar on there and make it a creamy Brussels sprout, but it's a lot of fun. So anyway, so this is School's Out for Summer. The greatest song, one of the greatest songs in the world was School's Out for Summer by Alice Cooper. So that was a fun one when I was growing up. And you can do this on toasted bread, or you can do it on just plain white bread. So you butter up both sides of the bread, and then you put on the cheese. So let's pair that up. Now, you can use creamy peanut butter or nutty. I like the nutty. And something as simple as peanut butter, you can do a really cool pairing. And you know, if some of these dishes seem a little too odd for you, be creative. Make up your own. You know, pair it up with the wines that you like, and test it out on your friends and your family. Wine and cheese is a great thing to do. Food brings us together. Wine brings us together. You know, after this coronavirus, I think we're going to see a lot of folks going out and having big events, big food events. So that is our School's Out for Summer dish. And then closing the wine and cheese pairing is The Godfather. And of course, I don't think there's anybody in the world who hasn't seen The Godfather movie. I was watching TV last night, and they're doing a Godfather marathon. I think it's on, not on Netflix, but on Spectrum TV. So there's going to be Godfather 1, Godfather 2, back to back. So that should be a lot of fun. So, what is in The Godfather? The Godfather is black olives, prosciutto, smoked mozzarella. So what's the difference between mozzarella and smoked mozzarella? Well, there's two ways to get the smoke in mozzarella. One is to actually smoke the cheese. So you hang the cheese in a smoker, and you actually smoke the cheese just like you would, let's say, drying out salmon, or beef jerky, making beef jerky or salmon jerky. You'd smoke it the same way. The other way is to add liquid smoke to the sack that's actually aging the cheese. And then the cheese will absorb that smoke flavor from the liquid smoke. Liquid smoke, if you've never used it, comes in a bottle about yay big, and you don't need to use a lot because it's very, very strong and powerful. One of the dishes that I make on a regular basis for my staff at the winery, we celebrate the 4th of July here at the wine shop every year. And one of the things I bring in is a whole big tin of Texas beef brisket. And I use liquid smoke for that. And I'll give you the recipe, real easy. You take a big, huge beef brisket. They come in massive sizes, like 20 pounds. And you take celery salt, garlic powder, and salt and pepper. Put it on both sides, you hand rub it in, and then you take like a quarter, maybe a quarter cup of liquid smoke, drizzle it over it, and then you cover it. Put it in the refrigerator, and then 12 hours later, you flip it, put it back in the refrigerator. So you're going to marinate this in the liquid smoke for 24 hours. Then you bake it for about 16 hours, 16 to 18 hours, depending upon your cooker. But I use a big roaster, and I cook it for 16 hours at 275 degrees. And it is magnificent. So liquid smoke's a lot of fun. So anyway, The Godfather, so we're using that smoked mozzarella. We also have it on a pita cracker and some olives. So I'm pairing that with the Petit Verdot. Petit Verdot is a heavier grape. It's got a good rich color to it. Let me show you that. Got a great rich color. So it's not a medium body, it's more of a full-bodied wine. It has very elegant notes. It's not like the Petit Syrah or even the Zinfandel, where you get this pop of spice and pepper. It's very subtle and very elegant. That was really a great wine. So, the Godfather. And of course, because it's mozzarella cheese, you got to put that with a real strong Italian. And I think the Godfather is a really right way to go. So, salute. Got that coconut, the olive. Now that's a home run. So again, the Godfather. So guys, that wraps it up for the day for our wine and cheese pairing. We're going to be doing another one of these. We're going to do one every 2 weeks. That's kind of the plan. But I've gotten a lot of mail from folks, a lot of my customers, a lot of you guys, writing in and saying, Dominic, we love the wine tasting. We love the wines you select, but, you know, I like sweet wine. So, we're going to do our next wine tasting on Thursday, May 14th, same time, 4 o'clock, and it's going to be titled Simply Stella. So, it's for Stella Rosa wines. Now, I don't want all you cork dorks out there, you wine geeks, saying, I don't like sweet wine. You got to try these because this menu is going to be very unique. All of the dishes that I'm going to put together for you are all going to be fruit or vegetable based. Not going to be any crackers or any breads. This is all going to be fruit and vegetable based because Stella Rosa is made primarily from, of course, grapes, but also from fruits. So peach, berry, apple, platinum, all different fruits in these. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Please join in, order a pack. Go outside your comfort zone. Do this. I think you'll really, really like it. So with that, guys, it's been a pleasure to be back welcoming, or you guys welcome me back into your homes. I do hope you enjoyed today. Any questions come up?
Well, Jody Dow wants to know if you can invite her next time you liquid smoke some brisket.
Hi, Jody. How are you? Yes, Jody. I'll actually make some. I'll have put some in the freezer, so when you come by, I'll have a little to-go package for you. How's that? Want to say hi to Penny. Say hi to Vicky, Tom. How we all doing out there? And again, special hellos to the Millers and to the Munizes for their wedding anniversaries today. Thanks for joining us. Be safe, everyone. Thank you very much.